In recent months, the world has been shocked by emergence of a new virus origination from China. Coronavirus are a large family of viruses that cause disease in human and animal. In human, it usually causes respiratory infection, from the common cold to serious illness such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome or MERS and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome or SARS. A new type of coronavirus discovered in humans since the outbreak began in Wuhan, China in December 2018. Due to the pandemic, many activities in the world were forced to be postponed until a undetermined time. Like other respiratory illness, COVID-19 can cause mild symptoms including runny nose, sore throat, cough, and fever. About 18 of cases can recover without the need for special treatment. About one of every six people may develop serious illness, such as accompanied by pneumonia or difficulty breathing, which usually comes on gradually. Although the mortality rate for this disease is still low, around 3% for the elderly and people who pre-existing medical conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, they are usually more susceptible to become sick. Several in development to date, more than 15% of confirmed cases have been declared better, and the cure rate will continue to increase. Until today, it has been stated that more than 87 million people in the world are infected with the coronavirus, and around 2 million people have died from the coronavirus. In total, 16,466 people were infected with COVID-19. Meanwhile, our patients recovered to 3,803 patients. The total number of patient deaths was 176 people. And how to prevent the spread of coronavirus with effective way? Number one is washing hand properly. Washing your hand properly is the simplest but effective way to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Wash your hand with running water and soap at least 20 seconds. Make sure all parts of the hand are washed clean, including the back of the hand, wrist, between the finger and nail. After that, dry your hands using tissue, clean towel, or hand dryer. If you are commuter walk on public transportation, it can be difficult to find soap and water. So you can clean your hand with the hand sanitizer. Use a hand sanitizer product with an alcohol content at least 60% to more effectively eradicate germs. Wash your hands regularly, especially before and after eating, after using toilet, after touching animal, taking out the trash, and after coughing or sneezing. Washing hands is also important because before breastfeeding a baby or expressing breast milk. Next is use a mask. Many use cloth masks to prevent coronavirus infection, even though these masks are not necessarily effective. In general, there are two types of masks that you can use to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. The first mask, namely surgical mask and N95 mask. Surgical mask is a disposable mask that is commonly used. These masks are easy to find, affordable, and comfortable to wear. So many people use these masks during their daily activity. The correct way to use a surgical mask is that the collar side of the mask must be facing outward, while the white inside is facing the face and covering the chin, nose, and mouth. The white side is made of material that can be absorbed and filter germs from the air. Although this is not completely effective at preventing exposure to germs, the use of this mask can still reduce the risk of spreading of infection disease, including coronavirus infection. The use of masks is more recommended for people who are sick to prevent the spread of viruses and germs rather than for healthy people. Meanwhile, the N95 mask is a type of mask that is used of personal protective equipment or PPE for medical personnel who treat COVID-19 patients. When removing the mask from the face, both surgical mask and N95 mask avoid touch the front of the mask because the mask because that part is full of germs that stick. After removing the mask, wash your hand with soap or hand sanitizer so that your hands are clean from germs and that stick. And next is physical distancing and self-isolation. Physical distancing is one important step to break the chain of spreading the coronavirus. This can be done by not traveling out the house except for urgent or emergency purposes, such as shopping for groceries or taking medication when sick. Physical distance are also carried out by maintaining a minimum distance of 1 meter from other people and always wearing a mask, especially when doing activity in public places or crowds. When undergoing physical distancing, you also need to avoid contact with people who are sick or suspect of being infected with coronavirus or have tested positive for COVID-19. If you have any symptom of COVID-19 that are mild, have a travel history or live in area with coronavirus in the last 15 days, or have had contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19, you are encouraged to carry out self-isolation. In addition, self-isolation is also recommended for people who are at high risk of being infected with coronavirus, such as the elderly people or who have comorbidities such as hypertension, diabetes, or weak immune system. Apart from the need of implementing health protocol and self-isolation to prevent transmission of coronavirus is to carry out the coronavirus. Why do you need to vaccinate coronavirus? Immunization is an effort to build or increase immunity both adults and children against a disease. The purpose of immunization is to prevent certain diseases or to avoid the risk of developing several symptoms when a disease occurs. One form of immunization is by giving vaccine. Vaccine is an antigen or foreign object that inserts into the body to produce an immune reaction against certain disease. Vaccine usually certain microorganisms such as viruses or bacteria that are dead or alive but weakened. Vaccine can also contain parts of microorganisms that can stimulate the immune system to recognize these microorganisms. When given to someone, the vaccine will cause a specific and active immune system reaction against certain diseases. For example, the flu vaccine to prevent flu and the COVID-19 vaccine to prevent infection with the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Usually, the vaccine is inserted into the human body by injection. That's why we have to do mass vaccination.